The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. When Judas had left them, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, he will also glorify him in himself, and God will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little while longer. I give you a new commandment: love one another. As I have loved you, so you also should love one another. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Jesus said, "I give you a new commandment: love one another." It was really a very old commandment. It was given long before Jesus. It's found in the book of Leviticus, the third book of the Bible. But he did give them something new, because he said, "Love one another as I love you." Now, that puts a whole different context on loving one another. And the context is seen in when the commandment to love one another was given. It was given between two great acts of love. This passage takes us back to the Last Supper in the Gospel of John. Jesus had shared the meal with them and washed their feet. Then he gave them this new commandment. In less than 24 hours, he would die on the cross. Jesus was showing them the extent to which love must go. He knew that Judas would betray him and Peter would deny him. He knew they all would desert him. Knowing that, he still shared the meal with them and washed their feet. Now, it would have been tough knowing what was going to happen to share the meal with them. But Jesus went so far as to take on the role of the servant and wash their feet. That's how far love must go. Then he went even farther by giving his life on the cross. In the Passion of John, Jesus went out to meet those who came to arrest him. He asked them who they were looking for. When they said Jesus, he said, "Well, I am, so you can let these others go." Now, he could have changed his plans and not gone to the garden. He could have taken off when he saw the soldiers coming. I mean, it was dark. He could have slipped away. But he knew what he had to do because he loved. He laid down his life to show us how far, the extent to which love must go. The law put limits on love. Who you had to love, how far love had to go. That's why we are called to use Jesus as our model for love. He took away all the limits. He loved all the way to serving us and to giving his life for us. He loved those who would betray him, deny him, desert him, and crucify him. No one was excluded from the love of Jesus. Think of how our world would be different if we loved that way. We wouldn't be able to lie to, or cheat, or rob, or take advantage of anyone. We wouldn't be able to fight with or go to war with anyone. Not if we loved that way. Each time we gather here, Jesus sends us out to go and love others as he loves us. The reflection from the Little White Book for tomorrow says it very clearly. He surrounded evil and anger with goodness, and he calls us to do the same. He sends us out to recreate our world, or at least our little corner of it.